Okay, so this is just a quick update on the thesis project, what I did this first week. Okay, so here's the website that I've been building where I'm gonna have all the updates organized in Wix. So I've been basically researching motion capture technology and software that I may be using. This is the thesis paper link, so you get an idea of what I'm aiming for, and if you want to give me any feedback, that's great. So supervised project, mocap research. So basically in my research I've been finding that a lot of the mainstream systems, such as the Shadow and the Exons, very expensive. You know, they're quite good, very expensive. There are other systems that are cheap, but the quality is questionable, because I haven't actually found good examples of this program being used and animate on YouTube, so I'm skeptical, but because it's free I'm gonna actually test that out. This one, Radical Motion, it's unlike all the others. This one you can use any camera, I believe, webcam, any camera pretty much, and you basically upload your video to a server, I believe, with a program, and it does some really high-end processing and predicting of movements, skeleton movement, and as far as I understand, it's much more AI smart than pretty much all the other software programs. It's kind of like the new generation of software, you know, cheap hardware, high-end software. And it's a monthly charge for that. So it has a trial. I'm gonna try that, I think, too. So these two I plan to try because it's not really gonna cost me anything. Then there's a few mid-range mocap suits, and they have their pros and cons. This one here, they have great customer service. From what I can see, if you're walking around in a mocap suit using your arms and legs, it works great. The problem is if you try to jump in the suit to avoid the leg jitter, which is a common problem with mocap, they actually seem to make it so that you can't have both legs off the ground at the same time. So, you know, I saw a video where a guy was doing pull-ups and trying to bench press, and when he was doing the pull-ups, his character wasn't going up and down because the legs were, you know, you can't have both legs off the ground with the suit, which hopefully they have fixed that since that video was made. I'm gonna have to check on that. Also, the main transmitting sensor for the suit is kind of located in the middle of the back of the suit. So if you lay down with the suit, like bench pressing or laying in bed, getting up, whatever, the problem with this one is it loses connection, I believe. So you can't really lay down in a way that's going to cover the sensor with the suit. So there's two big limitations here. Even though the price is not cheap, but it is affordable in some ways. Okay, this other suit has a unique feature, which is great, which is the fact that it has gloves to it, and it has you know, finger mocap as well as full body. The suit is decent towards the type of results you get out of it, and the pricing for the lower end model is pretty much as cheap as you're gonna get for a suit. The higher end model, I'm not sure what the difference is in the suit. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. The problem with this one is they have horrible tech support and communication, where this other one has great tech support. Okay, so there's IP Soft. This one isn't a mocap suit. This one, on the other hand, is multi-camera setup, and it's probably the cheapest, second cheapest software that I could find. The cheapest was this one. I'm not sure if it's going to work, the animate. The IP Soft should work pretty well with a multi-camera setup or two depth sensors with RPG channels. The price fluctuates depending on the version of the program, but the entry level one, it's one camera. I think it's double the price, like, yeah, double that for 2 cameras, and then this is like for 4. The depth cameras, cheap web cameras, they can do a lot more at the same time with each of these amounts. Okay, so facial mocap. I kind of looked at all of these options. This is a typo, I'll fix this. That's supposed to be face shift, not swift. That program was bought by, I think, Disney, and it was a great program where you could just use a webcam, and versions of it can be acquired online, old versions, not the most current, but probably can't be used for commercial use because Disney would not be happy about that. But it was a great program. These other programs, most of the ones I was finding that were in the affordable range, require an iPhone X or above. There are some other facial mocaps that I didn't go over on this list, but I didn't think the quality was all that great. So I kind of just jumped past it. Towards hand mocap, I found these two, which is, you know, that's part of the mocap suit from before. And this other one is just ridiculously priced. I'm sure there's other hand mocap with all 5 fingers out there, but I haven't stumbled across many. So I'm gonna have to do more research towards this. So at this point, I'm going to try out the animate. There's a good plugin for it for a Blender, so that's a plus. And I'm going to try out the radical motion. My feeling is the radical motion, if I get good results or fairly decent, I'll probably end up going with that because it's very cost effective. If not, I'll have to probably go with one of these 3. Not sure which yet. Facial mocap. If I had to take a guess off the top of my head from what I remember, probably go with this one or that one. But with that said, I need to review these more. And yeah. For hand mocap, I'm not sure, because if I don't go with this, I might have to animate it by hand if I don't find something good. I was hoping to find something with the leap motion, but haven't found anything good yet. Okay, so I guess that's that for this week on the mocap research. So next week, I'm thinking to look into deeper into the mocap research, but also in order to use custom animated rigs with mocap data, especially facial mocap data, you have to do something, you have to create something called blend shapes, which I actually haven't done before. So I'm going to learn how to make facial blend shapes where you create different poses, you know, like smiley, frown, you know, all kinds of shapes with the face. and then you blend between them for the mocap data, and you have to set it up, what facial expression equals what, link for the facial expression in the particular software. So I have to learn to do that properly. I've heard that takes some time, and studios tend to actually outsource that because they usually just want to bypass that tedious work. But I'm going to learn how to do that. I have links to all these, as you can see, so you can feel free to explore it if you want. If you don't, you don't. Yeah. Anyway, talk to you when you want.